Hey everyone, for this Foodie Friday, we're here at Charlottetown. We're trying out lobster on the wharf, and we're going to check out their amazing fresh seafood. I'm so excited for
this. Let them eat lobster. This entire stream is going to get copy claimed now. Oh yeah, she's showing us the nice lobster roll. Prince Edward Island, Charlottetown, it's a beautiful place. It's really good. Oh, lobster rolls. What else? Oh, you had oysters too. Isn't that nice? Some of you might be saying...
Hey everyone, for this Foodie Friday, we're here at Charlottetown.
Some of you might be saying, what's the big deal, Viva? It's just a young woman showing us a Foodie Friday. She's surely an influencer. Maybe she has her food channel. Maybe this is like... what's that show called? Bizarre Foods. Maybe it's just no. Who is Reshi Valdez? Reshi Valdez is Minister of Small Business, Member of Parliament for Mississauga, Streetsville, creative entrepreneur, and leader with a drive to empower our community. Spoiler alert, she's a liberal. Once upon a time, when it was Marie Antoinette and the royalty was unclear as to how out of touch they were with the people, and Marie Antoinette, I forgot, I don't even know the context. The whole thing is they don't have enough food to eat, and she says, well, let them eat bread. This is the minister, what was it? Minister of Small Business? Let me make sure. Minister of Small Business. Oh, Viva, don't be such a jerk. All she's doing is promoting a small business. The liberals, I think, were having their retreat, some form of government retreat to Prince Edward Island, and this Minister of Small Business decides, hey, I've got money. I'm at a nice fancy place that most Canadians can't get to, and even if they could, they couldn't afford a $30 lobster roll and oysters. I'm going to share my good fortune with my fellow Canadians and make this wonderful little foodie video.
Hey everyone, for this Foodie Friday, we're here at Charlottetown. We're trying out lobster on the wharf.
Who's we?
Check out their amazing
fresh
seafood. I'm so excited for this.
Oh yeah, please show me how nice it is. Oh yeah. Oh, beautiful small businesses, Canadians. Travel. I mean, I know you can't afford it. Oh, you guys can't afford lobster rolls? But look at it. You can bask with me. You can live vicariously through your member of parliament. Oh, stuff your face. For those of you who are listening on podcast, now we're seeing oysters. Let them eat lobster rolls. And by the way, just don't take my word for it, because here we go. These were the headlines from 2022. I'm actually giving myself a stomach ache. 1 in 5 Canadians reported going hungry due to rising food prices. This was from June 6th, a year ago. What's the other headline that they had there? Oh yeah, food insecurity in Canada. 1 in 3 children risks going to school without breakfast. That's also from February 2022. Reshi Valdez, Small Business Minister. Oh yeah, the lobster roll? Market price. Let's just say it was give or take $30 for a nice, creamy lobster roll. Suck back a couple of oysters because you're worth it, Reshi. And let me just share it with my Canadians. Life is good when you're in government. And I focused a lot of my anger and resentment and rage towards the Liberal government. They're all pretty much just as bad. But they're not all making videos about it, posting it to Twitter. Hey, I'm just going to share my good fortune. There's that thing called white privilege that we talk about. Well, I'm not white, so it can't be white privilege. It's called political privilege. And my goodness, do the liberals have it up the wazoo. I'm really grasping at straws, am I, Marc Laforêt? No. If you enjoy watching your elected officials who have been crushing your country, destroying your way of life, impoverishing not just this generation, but the next. If you like seeing them rub their lobster rolls in your face, well, my goodness, you might be one of those people who don't think that you're entitled to respect. Really grasping at straws. No, I am not. This is more like it. True, not rubbing salt in the wounds. And you know what the funny thing is? Let her drink champagne and let her eat oysters. If I don't know that she's doing it, she can eat what she wants. The lack of judgment it takes to say, hey, maybe my 1 in 5 fellow hungry Canadians wants to see me eating lobster. Maybe the 1 in 3 school children that skips a meal wants to see me eating lobster while I'm on a government retreat in Prince Edward Island. Let them eat lobster rolls. Okay, deep breath, people. We have a show tonight, as we do pretty much every Sunday. I was a little under the weather yesterday. In the morning, I caught an alligator gar with my bare hands. Let's just watch this because it's fantastic. This happened yesterday. Now, here's what happened yesterday. It actually finally happened. For those of you who have been following me for more than a year, you know I've been trying to do this for a year. And it happened yesterday.
It's recording.
Watch what happens. This is not a gratuitous selfie. Sometimes to grab the fish, you have to have two things on each hand. Watch what happens here. I got a small one. For those of you who are listening on podcast, Viva has taken off his shirt. For some reason, he's putting a sock on his hand. What's he doing? He's kneeling down into a Florida pond. He puts his hand in the water. He gets a grip on something that shakes his head, and he pulls out
an alligator goldfish?
a spotted
with my
gar.
bare hands. Look, I've been trying to do this for a year. Okay. It tried to bite me.
It did try to bite.
Hold on. Okay, so just come look at this thing.
This terrible camera work. Look at
Look at
this
that mouth.
Are we gonna keep?
Absolutely not.
Keep it.
Look at this.
Can I touch him?
Touch him. Feel this armor.
This is a spotted garfish, people. Armor plates,
finally caught.
like
They're an
fiberglass
invasive
sharp
species.
teeth.
Back up so you can just see how beautiful this is.
It smells like fish.
Yes, it smells very
smells
fishy
very
smelling
fishy.
fish. This thing it lives in low oxygen water. I'm not touching its mouth, but get in close to its mouth so you can see.
You could see those sharp teeth.
It's finally happened. It's been a year. Back up and get it. It's been a year in the making. And I'm going to throw it in. Ready? It's off. Now watch this. It knows where the water is. Okay, well, I'm just going to put it back in. Oh my goodness. Look at this thing. Prehistoric. Okay.
Oh, it's amazing.
You ready? And
I've been trying to grab one of
what
those.
did you learn? Beware.
So I caught that alligator garfish with my bare hands, and then, sure enough, yesterday evening, I wasn't feeling too well. Now, my wife calls me up in the middle of the afternoon. She says, Viva, Dave, I think I'm sick. And I was like, oh, geez, now that you mention it, I'm not feeling too good either way. And my goodness, if my wife hadn't been sick simultaneously, I would have thought that I got some swamp bug that was going to kill me. So that's it. If I look a little tired, that's why. But we've got a banger. The world's going crazy. The world is going crazy. There's nothing anybody can say that's going to make sense about this. You've got Canadian politicians scarfing down lobster rolls. You've got the U.S. government going after Elon Musk. You got the U.S. government, they're talking about bringing back lockdowns. And you got Joe Biden talking about another jab that's, I think we're going to have this time it's going to work. This time it's going to actually... Okay, but before we get into any of that, you may have Trump is now unstoppable. You've got Trump CGI, not CGI. What's the word I'm looking for? GPT AI rap. That's in the Trump song. It's top 15 on Apple Tunes or iTunes or whatever, Apple Music. Though never would I have thought we'd be living in a time absolutely so crazy. Would I like to go back to childhood, running through people's backyards, jumping on fences? Maybe. But the world's going crazy. And like someone said earlier, it's Sanity Sunday, except it's Insanity Sunday. Now, before we get into anything for the evening, people, you may have noticed, as you were coming in here, it said, this video contains a paid promotion, which it does. And tonight is Field of Greens, people. Fieldofgreens.com, promo code VIVA, 15% off your first order. Field of Greens is desiccated greens. Most of you don't know. I don't know why there's a flower pot in the back there. I don't know if that's supposed to be the fruits and vegetables that you're supposed to eat. Most people don't know you're supposed to have between 5 and 7 servings of raw fruits and vegetables daily. I have that all the time. But most people do not have their servings of raw fruits and vegetables. They don't eat enough fiber. They don't get the nutrients, the antioxidants from fruits and vegetables, and people don't lead healthy lives. One easy way to make up for that lack of healthy dietary daily intake, fieldofgreens.com, desiccated greens, powdered greens. Let me see here. It says USDA organic, as you can see from this picture here. Let's just zoom in. Can we zoom in on this? Yeah, there we go. USDA organic, real organic superfood. You take 1 spoonful twice a day. 1 spoonful is a serving of fruits and vegetables. It's a healthy habit. It's got the antioxidants. It's the next best thing to eating the raw fruits and vegetables, which everybody should nonetheless do. But instead of sucking back one of those disgusting Diet Cokes or those... Do you know a Red Bull has 27 grams of added sugar? That's 50% of your daily intake of sugar in one, how many milligrams, milliliters? Whatever, you know what I'm saying. get rid of that crap. 1 spoonful in a glass of water twice a day. It looks like swamp water, but it tastes delicious. It's got 1 serving of fruits and vegetables twice a day. You're already 2 out of 5. You're about 38% of your way towards your daily intake of raw fruits and vegetables. Fieldofgreens.com, promo code VIVA for 15% off your first order. Okay, now, thank you very much, by the way. The link is in the pin. The link is in the description, and go do it. It's a good, healthy habit to get into. Standard disclaimers. Geez, I almost forgot. Here we go. Cheryl Gage, Viva, if you'll get a tattoo of Trump's mugshot, I'll pay for it. I think my father would probably kill me, not because of the Trump tattoo, just because of any tattoo. But who knows? I think if anybody's going to get it, maybe Roger Stone will get one on the front of Trump. I'm joking, because Roger Stone's got the Richard Nixon on the back. No, if I ever get a tattoo, I think I know what it's going to be, but I'll keep it to myself for now. Cheryl Gage, thank you for the super chat. Now, standard disclaimers. All of these beautiful things here that you see, these highlighted $5 whatever, or in Euro, Canadian, YouTube takes 30% of all of this. So if you want to support the work that I do, the work that Robert Barnes and I do, the best way to do it is vivabarneslaw.locals.com. $7 a month, $70 a year. Or some people actually, give us more because they so appreciate the work that we do. That's the best way to do it. We are simultaneously streaming on Rumble, which I should have made sure that we are in fact doing. Let me just refresh here. Rumble has these things called Rumble Rants. Are we live on Rumble? Oh, we are. Okay, good. And Rumble ordinarily takes 20% of that, but for the rest of the year, they're taking 0%. They'll go back to their 20% next year. So Rumble Rants on Rumble, vivabarneslaw.locals.com, $7 a year. You can support us there, but I'll read all of these. Oh, sorry. Let the salt flow, Viva. But yeah, the governments the world over are corrupt and criminal. Wait until I get into the next one. It's Lane Mack, how you doing? Will it only be 2 weeks to stop the spread? It's like, it's so absurd. They want to do the same failed policies that they did the last time. And don't take my word for it. The Guardian put out, oh crap, now I can hear myself. Hold on, now I hear myself. Did I stop? This is so annoying. Where is it? Where's the video that I can, here it is. Okay, it was on YouTube. They want to roll out the same failed policies again. Here, look at this, guys. This is it. This is just amazing. Okay, the date, August 24th, 2023. That was the day before yesterday. No, the day before yesterday. The Guardian puts out an article. It says lockdowns and masks unequivocally, quote, they're not saying it because this is how fake news rolls. They never say anything on their own. They just cite someone else so that they can literally say A and not A, depending on the day, depending on the expert, depending on whatever bullshit narrative they want to put forward on that given day. August 24th, 2023, the day before yesterday. This is the narrative. Lockdowns and face masks unequivocally cut spread of COVID, report finds. Royal Society review looks at non-pharmaceutical interventions when applied in packages of several measures. That's what they said in August, 3 days ago, 2023. What did they say in January 2022? Britain got it wrong on COVID. Long lockdown did more harm than good. Scientists. So again, they're not saying anything. They're just quoting this scientist now in 2022 when they got to start backpedaling and saying, holy shit, we just locked down for like an extended period of time, 2 weeks to 2 months to 2 years. Massive problems with self-harm of children, people missing all sorts of doctor's appointments. Holy crap, we might have just actually seriously damaged a generation. Let's start walking it back. But we're not going to say anything because we don't want to make a mistake and we don't want to say that we said anything. So we're going to quote this scientist now. But some of you out there who like licking the boots that are suffocating you at the neck will say, they just said long lockdowns did more harm than good, not lockdowns did more harm than good. Oh, well, let's go to this other one. What did they say here? I forget the date. This is 2022. Evidence grows of lockdown harm to the young, but we act as if nothing happened. Martha Gill. Let's just go back to, oh, that's right. Lockdowns and face masks unequivocally cut spread of COVID, report finds. Gaslighters, liars, and criminals. That's it. Oh, but you got to be nice. You got to be nice to them, Dave. You got to be polite. Say, thank you, sir. May I have another? Please don't lock me down as much as you locked me down the last time. The curfews. Please, do it again. Curfews, face masks. You'll have to look up all of the things that I'm about to list off right now. In Quebec, They had to recall tens of thousands of masks because they contained a potentially toxic graphene particle. Daycare teachers, one who I knew personally, who I don't think will talk to me anymore because that's how far down the brainwashed mill they've gone, came up to me on the street sobbing because they had been wearing one of these blue and white face masks, and it always felt like they had cat hairs in the back of their throats. And now they find out that they've all been recalled because of a potentially toxic graphene. That's if they're potentially toxic. Then you get humans finding plastic particles deep in their lungs for the first time ever. Nobody knows why. Then you find out that you're not supposed to wear these disgusting masks for 8 hours a day. That even when they're done properly, you're supposed to change them every 4 hours. You think kids are changing their disgusting, filthy face mask? No. You find one in your back pocket, like, well, that's been there for a little while. I'll put that on my face. Okay. That's even when they don't, even when they're not potentially toxic, they're potentially damaging. I talk to dentists who talk about cavities in kids' mouths because of the keeping in the bacteria. They call it mask mouth because you get acne, or they call it maskne as well. That's the masks. Then the lockdowns. You want to get down to the lockdowns? Are they going to compare to Sweden now? Or they've stopped talking about Sweden? Okay, I just saw Robert come into the backdrop, so I'm going to bring him in because I can go. I'm tired. I'm cranky. My stomach hurts. And nothing that I'm seeing in the news or the world is making me feel any better. Maybe Robert's good will make me feel better. Okay, I didn't get to all the stuff in the back, but I'll save it for tomorrow. All right, let's bring this in. Robert, sir, 3, 2, how do I share here? Share, add to screen. Sir, how goes the battle?
Good.
Robert, it's not getting any better. You said it would get better 2 years ago. You said like, oh, how crazy can the world go? I remember talking to my dad in March, April 2020. He was like, yeah, people are going a little crazy. They're panicking. It's not getting any better. It's only getting worse. And what we're going to cover tonight, from the Trump mugshot to Elon being sued in the lawfare against Twitter. Robert, what's over your shoulder? What book do you have tonight?
The book of the month club for vivabarneslaw.locals.com. I'm reading aloud, too. The chapters of Common Sense by Thomas Paine, and then we'll be doing a breakdown in the final book club review. So that's the book, and then that's Carrie Lake sent me her autobiography that she recently did. That's a nice kind of a letter in the front of it. So that's what that one is.
Fantastic. Free Spirit says, Viva, don't blow a gasket. I've been a little irritable because, tell you, I'll feel better tomorrow. Robert, do we want to go over the items on the menu real quick?
Absolutely. So our bonus topic off the top is the war on farmers that's taking place. And a little reminder of how the Amos Miller case went and what people can do to continue to help in that matter. Biden sues Elon SpaceX because he's hiring Americans. Apparently, that's illegal according to the Biden administration. Pfizer has proven just what corporate sleazy lawyers that they are, as they try to illicitly intimidate me, co-counsel, and whistleblower Brooke Jackson. We'll talk about that one. There's a scheduling conference in Beaumont, Texas on Monday. I can't be there because I'm limited by doctor's orders from traveling at the moment, but due to a foot injury. But my co-counsel, Warner Mendenhall, and Lexus Anderson will be there, and whatever bums Pfizer sends. The 11th Circuit, big win on trans treatment laws on the Alabama case, and we'll unite that with the most popular request for a new case on our board, which was the Maryland federal court decision about parents not even getting notified or having any opt-out rights to having their 4-year-olds be read books about trans and lesbians and gay behavior and all the rest. Welcome to Maryland public schools. We'll talk about the Trump mugshot, the mugshot heard around the world. Jeffrey Clark's excellent removal petition in that case, and where people can continue to support. He's the best lead defendant in the Georgia indictment cases concerning Trump. The denial of bail because Democrats see a black man that supports Trump, so they got to lock him up. and the interference or the orchestrated conspiratorial interference with the right to counsel by the D.C. federal courts in another Trump case. Gannett, or however they say their name, the owner of USA Today, has been sued for reverse discrimination. Biden, his shadow immigration policies, his mass pardons, his mass paroles go on trial this week in federal court in Texas. The Prigozhin murder. I have a hush-hush on it, so we won't go into too deep a dive, but we'll give you just a little bit of a sneak peek of what that might look like. Hawaii fire, the lawsuits have already begun as they commence. The homeless get extended protection in San Francisco from a federal court. Santa Monica, voting rights win for Latino activist. The issues of religious-based adoption agencies in Tennessee, and a couple of bonus cases. Spirit got caught charging bogus baggage fees. And what does Christmas look like in Tennessee? It's actually a case concerning someone named Christmas.
Fantastic. Now, Robert, so we're going to start on the war on the Amish, and it's fascinating. I'm going to mix up the names here. It's not Amos, but the other one who's
the cattle farmer in Virginia.
It's like I'm trying not to get conspiratorial, and I'm trying not to think the government really is out there to crush small business, to have full control over every aspect of your life. They've gone after another Amish farmer because they're not they're not getting USDA certification for the butchering of their meat, and apparently this all started it started with COVID, because when COVID hit, they had to travel too far distances to get their USDA stamps or whatever the approval is. That means that they just have to pay a government official between, what did they say, $80 and $270 an hour to come and certify the slaughter for whatever that means. So what ended up happening is this company, an Amish farmer who sells only to the same type of membership base that he has. He doesn't sell outside of the state except to the extent that people come in to buy it and then leave with it. Was compliant with whatever USDA requirements they needed to have back in the day before COVID, but it became too costly to be compliant afterwards. Wasn't selling out of the state, so didn't think that he has to comply with any of these interstate, are they violative interstate rules of commerce or whatever. But then, gets all of his meat, all of his stash seized. Not seized, actually. At first, they just froze it, tagged it up.
Well, yeah, they physically seized it, but kept it on location, and then went and later seized it.
They kept it on location. Told him that they bagged it, tagged it, put it in locker. I guess it goes bad because it doesn't stay good forever. They said, you can't eat this, you can't sell this, you can't even use it to feed your family. And this Amish farmer's like, fuck you, and uses it to feed his family.
Except he's Amish, so he didn't use that word. He said, bring it, hey,
Well, from what I read in this about this whole story, I don't know if he said the Amish don't follow rules or someone said the Amish don't follow the rules.
Someone else did, yeah.
He said, forget this. I'm going to feed it to my family, and once I'm doing that, I'm going to sell it to whoever in the club wants to buy it. And then they came in, then they seized it. They're trying to put him out of business. It's exactly
and charging him with crimes now.
So I've given the 30,000-foot overview, Robert. For those who think that the government is after every aspect of your life, but in the unhealthiest way possible, what can you tell them to tell them that they're wrong, or are they in fact right and this is just egregious?
And there's also a good article up at the Mises Institute where our good mutual friend Thomas Woods often speaks on behalf of. The Thomas Woods podcast is very good. Comes from the libertarian, but more of a populist Murray Rothbard style libertarianism. And they are documenting how the Biden administration is clearly waging war on small farmers in America. And they target the Amish because the Amish don't bring suits. They don't believe in it. I have my mom's old principle about Christians not suing. And they also don't seek publicity. They believe public attention or their photograph even being taken, their appearance on a show is drawing attention to themselves, and it's not part of their religious or cultural beliefs. And so that's what makes them easy targets for the federal government and the state government. In this case, the state of Virginia is the one harassing this particular cattle farmer. But I have no doubt there are people within the FSIS, the USDA, and these various state agencies implementing a Biden administration policy to try to run out of business small farmers, and they're starting and targeting as the template to go after everybody else, Amish farmers, because of the reasons I mentioned. And so for those that don't remember, we were here a year ago today, thereabouts, when Amos Miller, the news stories broke that Amos Miller, the Amish farmer in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, was facing federal prison, contempt charges, bankrupting charges, a monetary judgment to take away his farm, add it to his wife, so take away anything he could ever own, his wife could ever own, family could ever own, all concerning him making meat and products that his customers wanted. Now, here we are a year later, and those contempt charges have all been dismissed. He never served a day in jail. Those contempt fines were dramatically reduced. He's back in business, and he's able to sell and market meat, chicken that right now it's from other farms that's USDA inspected, but doesn't have some of the problematic aspects that, like the Virginia cattle farmer, many of his customers don't want certain chemicals on their meat. Some of them, it's not a matter of don't want, it's a matter of can't, for health and medical reasons, as detailed in the town hall article. Some of them have to have it the way he makes it, not the way the USDA wants it. But it shows the broader pattern that's afoot. And, thanks to people rallying to Amos Miller's cause, we were able to get a much better outcome than what he was on pace for and what this Virginia farmer faces. But the fact that it keeps accelerating and escalating across the country makes the Amos Miller case, town hall referenced the Amos Miller case being the sentinel case in this context. And in this respect, if you want to continue to help Amos Miller, there's an easy way to do so. Free America Law Center that's providing support for it. I helped found Free America Law Center for Amos Miller's defense and for other future farmers like him. Then you can actually, right now, you can go to the top of, there's a pinned post at the very top, right, like the first, second, or third post at vivabarneslaw.locals.com. They'll give you a link, or you can go to the top of my Twitter, the pinned tweet, and you can go to Amos Miller's Organic Farm, and you can buy for basically $99. You're going to be supporting it, and he'll send you a delicious homemade bottle of blackberry jam. It's called Preserve America Justice Jam, appropriately titled and named. So that's how you can directly support them, directly help them, and continue to stay engaged, because that's going to be the only thing that restrains the Biden administration and state governments aligned from crushing small farmers, which isn't just about small farmers. It's about your and my right to eat what we want, to put in our body what we want. That's what they're trying to take away from us.
No, but in the article, they were talking about how some people say it's not just food, it's medicine. I don't want to have stuff with antibiotics. I don't want to have stuff with preservatives. What was it? Sodium nitrate.
Oh, there's tons of these chemicals that either the government has even admitted are toxic chemicals or cancerous chemicals that the USDA requires be poured onto food. So and again, Amos Miller, as an example, makes food the way his pappy made it, grandpappy made it, great grandpappy made it. It's in great grandpappy, and on. Goes all the way back. His family goes back to some of the very original Amish that settled in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, centuries ago. And so it makes no sense that people who want food the way he makes it, and he's making food that has never been documented to ever be unsafe anywhere, any place, at any time, in any legal proceeding. They mislabel this food adulterated. To most ordinary people, adulterated is putting a bunch of chemical crap on it like the USDA wants. There's been a lot more recalls from big corporate farmers than there's ever been from Amish farmers. It's part of a broader war. Just like the war to take away people's Second Amendment rights, where they're also targeting the Amish as the template to do so. All of those things are part of a broader pattern. The Biden administration talking about bringing back mask mandates, bringing back vaccine mandates. Apparently now they get a new vaccine, which I guess is a good transition into the latest insanity from Pfizer in the Brooke Jackson case.
We'll do that on Rumble, actually, not because I'm scared of anything, but because it's been a half an hour and we can now tell YouTube to go piss off after having nuked Jason Levine's channel, my friend who's doing a lot of good Canadian journalism. But hold on, there was one question before we do that, Robert. does this regulation get past the interstate commerce clause, where if the Amish farmer or if anybody is only doing business within the state, they're not selling outside of the state, why does the Fed have any jurisdiction in what that business does within the state law?
Two reasons. Some of the states adopted the federal laws application. And the other reason is the Supreme Court has not meaningfully enforced the limitation on interstate commerce. So they basically consider, this goes back to a wheat farmer case a long time ago, where a wheat farmer just, I mean, if he simply chose not to do something, he was somehow violating federal law. Right? It's like, hold on a second. How is it not trading something, not selling something, not making something, not planning something could somehow be a violate federal interstate commerce law? It's because the Supreme Court during the New Deal era overreacted. They overreacted initially in trying to suppress New Deal legislation, and then they overreacted in green lighting New Deal legislation. And they basically eviscerated the interstate commerce clause and made everything interstate commerce.
All right, and that's what one of the chemicals or the products was to make the meat look red, and so it's just atrocious. Okay, we're gonna go to Rumble right now. Link is here. I've shared the link to the jam. I'll keep sharing that periodically as we go. My wife wants to order the jam, so I think it's a no-brainer. Everybody, we're ending on Rumble. No, we're not. We're ending on YouTube, heading over to Rumble, and then after Rumble, we have our after Rumble party at Locals, vivabarneslaw.locals.com. So come over to Rumble right now. I'm ending on YouTube in 3, 2, 1, now.